What's up guys, Specstar here today with my draft recap for the FDL. And for those of you who don't know, FDL is a league hosted by the GBA staff, and it is an 8-mon untiered draft tournament, I guess you'd say. 164 people, and 11 of them are actually my fellow coaches from the UNL, so I think it's going to be pretty fun here. And we're actually having a little mini competition among ourselves to see who goes the furthest in it, and I'm hoping that's going to be me. Last time in FDL I got into the brackets round, and then I lost to the combination of a 10% poison and a very maximum roll. So this time I'm hoping to make it further, and this is the team I drafted. I had the number 9 out of 10 pick. And in the first round with the number 9 pick, I was actually able to get Mew. And that is not a mon I would normally expect to be there at number 9. I was very happy that Mew fell to me. And Mew is just a great Pokemon. I have a whole video just talking about Mew's value in Draft League. And in my opinion, it is the best wall in Draft League. And it's so much more, of course. It has great setup options like Rock Polish, Nasty Plot, Sword Stance, Barrier, Amnesia. It has all those stat boosters. And Baton Pass is legal aside from Speed Pass. So I can pass Nasty Plots, Barriers, Amnesias, all that fun stuff. And Mew is just, especially when Baton Pass is legal, I think Mew is just one of the best Pokemon in Draft League. I would have gladly taken it number 3, number 2 overall, and I was very excited to have it there at number 9. And now, after 2 more picks at the number 12 pick, I went ahead and I grabbed myself a Zygarde 50%, and I still have these moves here because I was recording the previous video and a freaking fly flew up my nose and I had to redo it. I shit you not, that is literally what happened here. So, on my number 2 pick, I went and I grabbed myself a Zygarde 50%. And what I was talking about when I had these 2 moves was the type of versatility Zygarde has that other dragon types do not have. And here you can see Glare Dragon Tail. It can have bulkier sets like this that phase around. Dragon Dance, you can even be dual dance with Dragon Dance and Coil. Banded sets are viable, all sorts of different things it can do. And particularly since I actually made it one of my 2 Z users, I can actually throw a Z move on this thing if I want to, just to make it an even more threatening Dragon Dance sweeper. This is definitely, you have to pay some heed to this set in addition to all the other sets it has, and the Z move just makes it so much harder to prep for, and that's why I opted to go for the Z move on this Pokemon, even though it can kind of enjoy its item freedom. And I'll talk more about my other Zs or when I do get to it, although I'm sure you guys see it on the screen there. The next Pokemon I went ahead and took, and this is kind of a theme I really just kind of took based on value. I went for Pokemon that I thought shouldn't have been available when I picked them, and Clefable definitely falls into that, because this was the 29th pick, I believe. Yeah, it should have been the 29th pick, and Clefable was still there. It's a great fairy to go with Zygarde, and of course in 8-mon format, setup sweepers are king, and Clefable with Unaware is just great at helping me to deal with other setup sweepers. It also is a tremendous cleric, which can help with potentially, well, Mew can also fill kind of a cleric role. It does get Heal Bell. Clefable can definitely take a lot of pressure off of it. The more options Mew has, the less tied down to any specific role it is, the better it will do. And Clefable kind of does that. It helps with, of course, the next Pokemon I took here, which I'll talk about later, Suicune. It can help it deal with status. I love combining the 2 because if Suicune wants to go ahead and take a big power nap, Clefable can throw off a Heal Bell and wake it right up. Has, of course, 2 great abilities in Magic Garden Unaware. Has some setup options and things like Calm Mind and Cosmic Power, which I will admit Cosmic Power Clefable is pretty, it's not politically correct, but it's pretty AIDS, that set. But it's incredibly dangerous. Cosmic Power Clefable is like the crane kick from Karate Kid. If do right, no Ken defense. It's really just a nightmare to deal with, and Clefable is a great fairy to pair with Zygarde. It's still available at the end of round 3. I just had to scoop it up. Now, after grabbing Clefable, I just wanted to go ahead and complete my defensive core. Especially since I had Zygarde with that big ice weakness, there was definitely pressure on me to get a good water wall. And at this point, pretty much all the good water walls were available. But to me, Suicune is a lot better than the other 2 being Milotic and Toxapex in 8-mon format, just because it's so hard to deal with some of the setup Suicune options when you have only 8 Pokemon. It's really something I do like in this format, and I want to use Extreme Speed sometime. At some point I want to make Extreme Speed work, but I probably won't. It's just sitting there and it's like, oh, there's got to be some potential for that, because that's one of the best moves in the game. But no promises. Maybe if we get like a 3-0 start in the pool round and we have a 4th game, I can try to throw it in or something. But if you watch my B4A, was it B4A? Yeah, I believe it was. I don't remember if I had in B4A. I know I had in MPDA, and it put in a lot of work there. You guys, if you follow me, you know how bad my memory is, but I had this thing in MPDA, and if you watch that, you know that this thing can definitely put in work in 8-mon. It has great sets, Calm Mind, Roar, Substitute, Rest. It has, it's not that versatile in theory, because there aren't too many different moves it can use, but the way you handle Substitute and Rest variants is much different. So it can kind of catch you off guard, potentially, if you're not ready for what it does bring. Anyway, that's enough on that, really. Let's go into my second and last Z user. In this, you get 2 Z users, and I went for Zygarde and Thundurus Incarnate. And Thundurus Incarnate was just a value pick for me. It helps with my speed tiers because my fastest Pokemon at this point was Mew, and Thundurus helps with that. It also gives me a good electric type and also ground immunity. And being there at the end of the 5th round, I thought that was just good value again. Has some great options, Nasty Plot, Agility, some setup options, great types of coverage moves. It can be both physical or special and has all sorts of things it can turn into Z moves. Grass Knot, Knockoff, Superpower, Pummeling, Focus Blast, Wild Charge, all that fun stuff. And of course, it's old classic Fly. Supersonic Sky Strike remains the best Z move ever. And really just quite a few potentials for this thing. One of the reasons I went for Thundurus is because Zygarde's a Pokemon that's not always going to want to have the Z move, and Thundurus is a Pokemon that can always make use of the Z move. So they kind of work with each other because they're not really going to be stepping over each other's toes, and there's not going to be a lot of situations where I'm going to want neither to have the Z move, so they kind of have some sort of Z synergy, I'd say. And I'm excited to see how they pair. My next pick here was Scizor, and it's a regular Scizor. Still don't have my Mega yet. I decided to wait on my Mega because in untiered drafts, I tend to wait on my Mega because to me, the higher tier really good Pokemon are going to go really quickly, but there are actually quite a few really good Megas, so I thought that I could pretty much just wait on my Mega and then go ahead and grab some of the better regular non-Mega Pokemon. And here in round 6, I'm going to go for Scizor. Scizor helps me with priority, It also gives me a Pursuit Trap option, which is especially valuable when it comes to a Pokemon I'll talk about later that I did take, and at this point I knew I was going to take. It gives me a priority aside from Zygarde's Extreme Speed and Suicune's Extreme Speed, I guess, which is pretty useful. It also gives me a Steel to complete my Fairy Steel Dragon Core. Another reason I do really like Scizor is because as a quad fire weakness, it definitely takes pressure off of Zygarde, because normally when you have a team with just Zygarde, there's going to be a lot of people bringing Hidden Power Ice, and with Scizor they're going to have to decide between Hidden Power Fire and Hidden Power Ice, which does definitely make things better for Zygarde, and of course Zygarde also helps make things better for Scizor, and that's something I definitely like to do. If I have a really good quad weakness, I like to add other quad weaknesses, and Scizor also gives me another hazard control option that's not just Mew. Again, I like to make sure that Mew's not bound to one specific rule. That just makes Mew so much more dangerous when it has other Pokemon filling its roles, because it gets to kind of be a wild card and do what it wants, and it's so dangerous when it can do that. Of course, if you guys have been playing Pokemon for very long, you know what Scizor can do. Choice Band, Assault Vest, Swords Dance, all those fun stuff, abusing Technician, and its powerful Bullet Punch priority, which is one of the most dangerous techniques in the game. It's Technician Bullet Punch combined with its nice 130 attack. And I believe that's all I really need to cover there. And now I'm going to go on to my last two picks, which I have here. And the next one I'm definitely excited to talk about here. I went and I grabbed myself a Mega Medicham with the second last pick in the 7th round, and I haven't really used Mega Medicham very much in Draft League, and it's a Pokemon that I really like using in the OU tier, and I know Mega Medicham has a reputation for being dangerous in 8-mon format, and with it being available so late, I thought this was my opportunity to try the thing out and see what it does. Mega Medicham, of course, it has an insane attack stat. When it's adamant, you get the thing up to frickin' 328, and then you double that with pure power into 656, which is just absolutely absurd amount of power. And it even has some pretty nice priority options in Fake Out and Bullet Punch. Fortunately, I think Game Freak made the right call in not giving the thing Mach Punch, because that may have been too powerful. But it does have, of course, that powerful high jump kick, which I do have to play games with, because there's always going to be those protects when you have Mega Medicham, but that is just a nuke. And there is just a real hard time walling this in 8-mon format, because you have 8 Mons, and aside from 8 Mons, there just aren't even that many Pokemon that really wall this thing too well. And having a Pursuit Trapper with this is very nice, because some of the best answers to Mega Medicham are Psychics, and there's also Ghosts, which aren't switch-ins generally on Zen Headbutt, but they kind of make me like, I have no confidence in clicking High Jump Kick because I could miss a Ghost and that would be costly. And having a Pursuit Trapper with that is very nice. And I think having this little nuke is just going to be very nice for my team and pretty fun to try out, even if it doesn't work out well. But we're going to hope it does. And my last pick here is Nihilego. And I did have a few tough options here. One of the reasons I wanted Nihilego is because I don't really have that much I can put a Choice Scarf on, and Nihilego is a great Scarfer. Also, my team, with the chip from Toxic Spikes, it's pretty dangerous, and having Nihilego as a Toxic Spiker is pretty valuable. It also takes pressure off of Clef and Mew to set up Stealth Rock, which is very valuable to me too. Nihilego is just one of my favorite Pokemon. Has great special attack and special defense, and it's another quad weakness with Scizor and Zygarde, which again will help make people kind of think twice about running Hidden Power Fire, Hidden Power Ice, versus, of course, Hidden Power Ground, which they make Nihilego better, Nihilego makes them better, which is definitely a great thing. Has phenomenal coverage. I definitely got some use in MPDA out of Acid Spray, had some fun with that. Gleam, not. Head Smash, which I want to use. I want to make Head Smash Nihilego work. Again, I'm hoping I kind of get that position where I'm potentially 3-0 and then I can kind of fuck around one game, run Head Smash Nihilego, Extreme Speed Suicune, and kind of have some fun. Because there are some interesting options. It does have screens, which can kind of help with something like Zygarde, just even further adding to this thing's value. It has options both offensive and utility. Very good Pokemon. And that's going to be my team here. And to recap it, I've got Mew, Zygarde 50%, Clefable, Suicune, Thundurus Incarnate, Scizor, Mega Medicham, and Nihilego. And our draft was one of the first ones to finish, I believe. So it may be a little bit until the videos start coming out, but when they do start coming, I don't think we'll have too long to get the battles done. So they should be kind of bunched together. So you can definitely expect to see some of that soon. And I've got a team here that I think is going to be pretty fun to use, and hopefully for you guys it's pretty fun to watch. And for this video, I do want to thank you guys for watching. Have yourselves a good night.